Actually, maybe I should try doing some soft spoken for this. I'm going to tell you guys all the films I've watched in 2026 so far. So, without further ado, let's get on with it. I have my laptop over here, but it's quite loud for some reason, so I'm trying to like put it far away so that you're not like overwhelmed with how loud it is, the fan. Like, I don't know why. Anyway, so in January I watched 2 movies. One was Uptown Girls, which I loved. I gave it 4 stars. And I gave Frankenstein, which is the second movie I watched, 5 stars. That was a new movie, or 4. I meant also 4 stars. This was the Frankenstein with Oscar Isaac and Jacob Elordi. Sorry guys. Just putting on some Aquaphor because my lips are dry as hell. Okay, February I watched a lot of movies. So I watched Cars for the first time. I never watched it before. I watched it with my roommate who is no longer my roommate. And I gave that 4 stars also. Loved it. I watched the Bee Movie. Again, I rewatched this and I gave it 5 stars. I love the Bee Movie. It's so funny. I watched People We Meet on Vacation because I read the book, but when I read the book, it's called You and Me on Vacation. So, which I feel like makes more sense, but I gave that 3.5 stars. Thought it was fine, you know. I then watched Wuthering Heights in Spain with Spanish subtitles, but I watched it in English, and I gave that 3 stars. I thought it was a good time. I didn't watch the start of it. I still haven't seen like the first 2 minutes because we were late to the cinema, and there was like basically no ads, and we thought they'd be at least like 10 minutes of ads. We were wrong. And I watched Marie Antoinette, and I watched this after a night out when I couldn't move the next day. I give that 4 stars. Love that movie. I love the main girl. I can't remember her name, but she's in like a lot of things. I'll just check for you because like I feel like that's just the right thing to do, you know. How do you like check the actors on this? Kirsten Dunst. I always forget her name, but it's such a fun name. Like, I want a cool name like that. Okay, next thing I watched is The Royal Tenenbaums, which I personally gave 2 stars because I just did not like it because I need like a fast-paced movie to keep me engaged. My roommate really loved it, and I know the actual general opinion is that this was one of like the greatest movies of all time, so don't take my word for it. Everyone's opinion is different. And I also watched Zoolander for the first time in February, and I gave that 4 stars. I thought that was really funny. I love a satire movie. In March, I watched Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, and I gave that 3.5 stars. I watched Inferno because we were going to Rome, and for some reason my mom was like, we should watch Inferno because that has something to do with Rome, and that's nothing to do with Rome. Don't know why she told me to watch that. Then I watched The Greatest Showman for the first time. Guys, I knew all the movies to this already. So like having to watch this movie, the plot for the first time, which I had no clue what the plot was or anything. Like, I was so taken aback at how good this movie was. I love it. Oh my god, like, it is so good. I can't believe I've never watched it. Okay, April, I watched Baby Driver. I gave that 3 stars. A lot of people love it. It's not a bit me though. I watched Kill Bill Volume 1, and I gave that 4.5 stars. I watched Bad Teacher with Cameron Diaz. I love her, and I gave that 3.5 stars. I watched P.S. I Love You, which I literally gave half a star. I hate that movie. if you've never watched it, don't ever watch it because it's so bad. I watched Lost in Translation, which I gave 4 stars. Bit of an odd one because like I like the movie, but the one star I lost was a bit like the jokes were not funny, like they were racist and like homophobic, kind of weird. It's like weird jokes, you know. I don't know. I watched Sweet Home Alabama. I think I watched this with my roommate and her friend when her friend came to visit, and I gave it half a star as well. Like it's just so bad. Reese Witherspoon, why? Like she can never get this off of her CV now. Like I watched What Happens in Vegas with Cameron Diaz. 4 stars. Love that movie. Love you, Cameron. I watched White Chicks for the first time. Guys, I can't believe I haven't watched so many of these movies because White Chicks was like so freaking funny. If you haven't watched it, go watch it right now. Like it's so funny. And in May, I watched The Story of Nintendo, which is like a short documentary. I gave it 2.5 stars. I thought it was like fine. I watched What to Expect When You're Expecting, and I gave that 4 stars. I watched Transformers. I've watched this before, and I gave it 5 stars. I watched There's Something About Mary, and I really hated this movie. I gave it half a star. I thought it was really disgusting. Like I just didn't find any of it funny. So it low-key put me off Cameron Diaz. Like I watched the drama with Zendaya and Robert Pattinson, and I gave that 4 stars. This is such a good concept for a movie. Like I could do a whole video about this, and I really want to know if you've watched it, like what your thoughts are. I have heard a lot of mixed opinions, but I just love it, and I love. Spoiler alert for Spider. Well, kind of spoiler alert, probably not. But in the drama, basically the whole premise is they're getting married, and there's just a bit in Spider-Man where he crashes a wedding, kind of, and it's literally nothing, not big plot at all, that he crashes a wedding. But I just like that people like edited it so that it's like the drama wedding, and it's like Tom Holland's crashing Zendaya's wedding. Then I watched Michael, which I gave 2 stars. I watched 50 Shades of Grey. I gave that literally half a star. Like, why was this so talked about back in the day? Like, I don't get it. It's not spicy. It's boring. Like, oh, it's so boring. And I hate the jokes and I hate the dialogue. Like, whew. I watched Project Hail Mary, which I gave 5 stars. And I watched Monster High Boo York, which I gave 5 stars. I watched this after a long day at the library with my roommate, so. Then in June, I watched Send Help with Rachel McAdams and Dylan O'Brien. I gave that 3 stars. That's the last. Oh wait, is that the last movie? Yeah, that's the last movie I watched in Spain. Wow, weird. And I watched Our Fault. Actually, I gave 2.5 stars, or Culpa Nuestra, but it doesn't come up that way on Letterboxd. Then in July, wow, it's really obvious I had so much free time in July. So I watched Voicemails for Isabel, which I gave 4 stars. I watched Plus One, which I gave 4 stars. I actually really enjoyed that movie. I watched The Book of Life again, which I gave 5 stars. I put this on for my family because a lot of them wanted to go watch a bullfight in Spain, and I was like, guys, I clearly did not make you watch this movie enough as a child, so I'm gonna make you watch it again. I watched In Her Shoes, but she gave 2 stars. Did not like that either. I watched Avatar: The Last Airbender, like the new movie. Give that 3 stars. I watched The Backrooms. So good. Go watch The Backrooms. Like, I love that movie. It really freaked me out. I love it. I love a movie that freaks me out. I want to watch Obsession as well, which I heard is good. I gave that 4 stars. Then I watched Too Many Cooks. Gave that 3.5 stars. I watched it because there's a movie coming out called Buddy, which I kind of feel like is giving Five Nights at Freddy's. But it's by the same director, so I was like, might as well watch it. And I watched Spider-Man Brand New Day, 5 stars. Then I watched Fantastic Four First Steps. I gave that 3.5 stars. I watched Forbidden Fruit, which I gave 4 stars. I really like that movie. Again, a satire movie, and I love all the actors. I thought it was a really fun premise. And then in August, I watched Party Girl, which I gave 4 stars. And that is all the movies I have watched so far in 2026. Let me know what you have watched. Then in the comments below, please like and subscribe and let me know what to watch. I literally just watch things if I find them interesting and depending on what mood I'm in. I like a fast-paced movie. But yeah, I need to catch up on all the Marvel things that are going to be in Doomsday. So if you kind of know any of those, I do watch the X-Men and stuff, and I've watched all the Deadpools. So I'm trying to think of what else.